I've been trying to repair as much of the damage to the exterior as possible, whilst I've still got time to do so, that is, but without any steel plates to spare, I can't really replace any of the missing pieces of armour that were shot off by those turrets earlier. The good news is that it's been pretty quiet out here so far. I've only spotted a few civilian vessels that seem to pass by at long range. There is still no sign of pursuit, which is probably just as well, as I still don't have a damn clue as to what the hell I'm going to do next. As I saw from my earlier EVA, almost all the gunfire seems to have been soaked up by these armour plates. Thankfully, none of the internal components have been damaged. That blue ship over there is starting to get a little too close for comfort though. If I'm lucky, the crew are just being a little curious and should hopefully be on their way again soon. I don't want them hanging around. It's making me a little nervous. What a mess. It's times like these when I miss having that construction ship. Or access to some industrial-sized welders like the ones they have in those dedicated shipyards and repair facilities. That thing's still getting closer. I'll just have to keep an eye on it. Damn, this is all the way through to the cabin. The armour plates up here seem to have protected the battery. That's good. Those are expensive to repair at the best of times.
This is First Officer McGillicuddy of the sole cooperative vessel Minerva to the unidentified small transport craft located 500 meters to our 12 o'clock. Your transponder beacon appears to be inactive and you have drifted out of orbit. Do you require any assistance? Over?
What? Are they talking to me? Oh, damn it. Well, I better say something, otherwise they might get even more suspicious. This is the prison transport vessel THX-1138 to the Minerva. I read you. Sorry about that. We were en route to the Tartares Montes Prison when we took minor damage after passing through a debris field in orbit, and our beacon appears to have been hit and lost power. I'm currently conducting some emergency repairs, but don't require any assistance at this time. I do appreciate the offer, though. Over. I hope they bought it. If these guys call this in to the authorities, then I'm pretty much screwed. There's just no way I'll be able to fight my way out. Damn it, they're being too quiet. I've got a bad feeling about this.
This is the Minerva to the THX-1138. Acknowledged. We are looking for a friend of ours that recently lost a desperate gambit. Have you seen any other vessels out here that may be in a difficult situation and benefit from our offer of assistance? Over.
Huh? Oh, hang on a second. Desperate Gambit. That sounds suspiciously like a reference to... I wonder, could these be one of the guys that were trying to help me escape? It could also be a trap. They could be trying to get me to give the game away. Oh, what the hell? What do I have to lose? This is Commander Robertson to the Minerva. Could you please explain the situation regarding your missing friend to me in more detail? Over.
Confirmed, Commander Robertson. Please stand by. Our captain wishes to speak with you.
Their captain? Well, now this is interesting.
Commander, it's good to finally meet you. I'm glad to see you managed to get out of there safely. When I heard we lost contact with our operative on Mars, I feared for your survival.
Hang on a second. Who exactly are you, and how the hell did you manage to find me out here?
My apologies, Commander. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Jonathan Twain II. I represent the interests of the Sol Cooperative in the Epsilon and 82G Eridani systems. We've been tracking you through a small microtransmitter in your recording device. It was activated the moment our operative hacked prison security.
So it was you that helped me escape. But why go through with all this? I've already spoken to the Sol Cooperative representatives that visited me and told you guys everything I know. All you've achieved with breaking me out of prison is risk being branded as criminals along with me and make a lot of powerful enemies along the way. What exactly is it you want with me?
You're very astute, Commander. What I want is to hire your services for a special assignment which I feel would suit someone with your unique experience.
Unique experience? I don't suppose you could be a little more specific. I mean, what exactly is this special assignment of yours?
We recently lost contact with our colony on Terra Nova, which is the Earth-like planet discovered in the 82G Eridani system. While the Sol Cooperative doesn't have any claims in that system, we do have a vested interest and strong ties to that colony. We sent a small 3-man team to investigate, but we lost contact with them too shortly after they made planetfall. The only message we received from them before they went silent was from the leader of the investigation team saying he had imposed a quarantine of the entire planet and warned that anyone landing there would die.
Die? How?
He didn't say, and there were no further messages either from him or the rest of the team. And to complicate matters, the Terran Colonial Authority in the system refused to let anyone else land down there until the quarantine is lifted.
Surely Mars or one of the other corporations have sent someone else to investigate?
Indeed they did. A science vessel belonging to the Mars Provisional Government arrived in 82G Eridani a few weeks ago, but it was attacked by pirates shortly after it arrived in system. It was destroyed with the loss of all hands, and the pirates stripped it bare before the TCA could arrive on the scene. The IMDC and ACI have both offered to intervene, but their requests have been denied, and rightfully so, as the independent Terran authorities are concerned that they could use this excuse to gain a foothold in the system and stake a claim on what should be a free and independent Terran colony.
This is all very interesting, but I don't understand what this has to do with any previous experience of mine. I mean, surely there are others out there that are better at investigating these sorts of things, or have more experience fighting against pirates.
True, but none of them have experience dealing with an extraterrestrial species.
Wait a minute, what do you mean? Where do aliens fit into all of this?
Commander, the colony was created by survivors of a war between the independent Terran workers and results-oriented sciences Division 4, which had its headquarters on another world in the same system. There were reports that the war was started because Ross 4 found an alien artifact and tried to cover it up by murdering ITW personnel.
Go on.
The artifact apparently bore a strong resemblance to that monolith you discovered in Alpha Centauri. Unfortunately, during the final battle of the war, it seems to have disappeared, along with the engineer we sent and the Ross 4 CEO Marcus Rose. Commander, I firmly believe that either your Thalia friends or beings like them could be the reason behind why Terra Nova was quarantined, and I believe that you, above all others, are more likely to get to the bottom of whatever the hell is going on. You will, of course, be well compensated for your service.
I see. Well, that does make some sense, I suppose, but I've spoken to the Thalia in depth during my time on Saburo, and they never once mentioned encountering other human colonies, or tampering with the monoliths for a fact. They even consider them to be sacred to some extent, so it's unlikely that they would even do that. Unless, of course, these Thalia are different from the others. That is always a possibility. I am curious, though. What's the Sol Cooperative's angle in all this? You seem to be a little too eager to see me undertake this assignment on your behalf. I'm guessing that the Sol Cooperative just wants to see the situation resolved as quickly as possible so that it can rush in and get its greedy little hands on what could potentially be some exotic alien tech.
You wound me, sir. My personal motives aren't as selfish as you may think. You see, I have a daughter on Terra Nova. She settled there with her husband last year and has been working as a doctor in the Avalon colony. Her married name is Anne Jones. The last we heard of her was when she sent her brother, my son Anthony, a message voicing her concern over the colony's governor and the disappearance of key members of her staff. We haven't heard from her since before the quarantine, and I fear the worst.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize. Well, since my only other option is to just sit here in space waiting to either be recaptured or killed, I feel that it would be in my best interest to accept your offer, Mr. Twain. I can't guarantee that I'll get the answers that you're looking for, but I'll certainly try my best.
Thank you, Commander. You have my most sincere gratitude.
I do, however, have one condition.
Yes?
I'm going to need a jump-capable ship, preferably one with a respectable amount of firepower, especially if it's expected that I'm going to encounter hostiles out there.
That could prove difficult. Most of our vessels are of civilian design. They're not meant for combat.
That's okay. Even an old warship or a converted freighter might do. Do you guys have anything like a scrapyard or mothballing site anywhere?
Now that you mention it, there is the old Apophis Memorial Site. Several vessels that were deemed too badly damaged to be saved were towed there after the end of the war. I will warn you, it is a protected site and considered an official war memorial.
That's okay, Mr. Twain. With all the charges against me already, I may as well add grave robbing to the list. I also need to get in touch with the Thalyar. Would it be possible to send a courier vessel with a large jump radius to the Tau Ceti system with a message for them? I can give the courier my authentication code so the Thalyar know that it's genuine.
There's no need for a courier. We have hyperpulse communication satellites that can do that instead. There's even one between Mars and the Apophis Memorial.
I have no idea what that is, but that sounds great. Let's go there first.
Very well, Commander.
Well, now isn't this an interesting development? Right, Mr. Twain, I'm ready to go when you are. The sooner we leave here, the better. I'd rather not hang around out here for too long.
Agreed. Please dock your vessel to the connector or the Minerva so that we can transport you.
Acknowledged. Where is your connector anyway?
It's on top of the ship. You can't miss it, Commander. There are 4 lights.
Okay, I'm looking for 4 lights. Ah, copy that. I see them. For a second there, I almost thought I could see 5 lights. I must have spent a little too long in solitary confinement.
Let me know once you've docked, Commander, and I'll give the order to jump. Twain out.
Fair enough. Those great big lights are a little overkill, though. Well, I'm sure he must have a very good reason for using them. Although I have to admit they would be extremely useful on the outer edges of the solar system where there's very little natural sunlight. There we go, that should do it. This is Commander Robertson to the Minerva. I have successfully docked and ready to jump.
Confirmed, Commander Robertson. Preparing to jump. Jump drive engaged. There it is, Commander. The Sol Cooperative Hyperpulse Satellite Alpha 1. I'll give you a few minutes to compose your message. When you're ready, you can transmit the data to the satellite, which will then open a minute wormhole to the Tau Ceti system, and your message will be sent through. Once it's received, your Thalia friends should be able to repeat the process and send one back, providing, of course, they have similar devices.
Yes, I believe they do. Now that you've described it, I actually recognise the process from one of my prior conversations with the Thalia. I just didn't realise that we had developed something similar ourselves yet. What's the range on those things?
Approximately 20 light years. They don't allow instantaneous communication, but they do reduce the time messages can be sent between nearby star systems from years to mere days, sometimes even hours.
Ah, excellent. Right, time to make a start on my message for Councillor Zorak. Okay, here goes. Sending message. Message sent. Cool, I just hope they're able to get it and send a reply back to me. And most importantly, send me the program I've asked for. I wonder if those things can handle large size file attachments. Well, I guess I'll soon find out. SCV Minerva, this is Commander Robertson. I finished sending the message and I'm returning to the ship, over.
Copy that, Commander. See you soon. Minerva, out.
Okay, time to head back to the great big blue ship and jump to that Apophis memorial site and see what useful scrap I can find to make myself a new vessel. This is Commander Robertson to the Minerva. I've docked to the connector and I'm ready for the jump to the Apophis Memorial. Over.
Roger that, Commander. Preparing to jump. Jump drive engaging.
This is my favorite part. We're here, Commander. The wrecks of several warships lost during the war should be just over there, near the asteroid Apophis. They're all quite badly damaged, but I hope there's enough for you to salvage into something you can use.
Yeah, me too. But I guess I'll have to take a closer look at each of those wrecks to find out. I do have one question though, Mr. Twain. What's with all these defence platforms scattered about?
I'm not sure. I just noticed them myself. They weren't here last time we visited. I suspect there may be some sort of protective measure by the Mars Provisional Navy to deter looting by unscrupulous individuals.
What, like me?
Exactly. I'd be careful if I were you, Commander. Not all the defense platforms have beacons, and it looks like the majority of them have overlapping fields of fire.
Well, that's great. So my first challenge will be trying to figure out a way in to actually reach those wrecks. Right, time for me to scout out these defences and see if I can find a weak spot. Minerva, this is Robertson. Mr. Twain, I can't help notice that some of those waypoints seem to have ships missing from them. I am assuming that those were wrecks that were taken away for some reason or another?
Yes, something like that. The USAC Anchorage was a heavy cruiser like the Roanoke, but wasn't as badly damaged during the war. The Ross 4 Corporation purchased it a few years ago, renamed it, and restored it for use as their flagship in the 82G Eridani system. Sadly, it was destroyed in our final battle in their war with the independent Terran workers. Only a handful of those vessels exist now. I'm not sure about the other one. I think the Martian Navy may have taken it.
That's right, sir. The Martians restored the Los Angeles and use it in their Martian defense fleet now.
Ah, thank you, McGillicuddy. It looks like you have your answer now, Commander.
So it would appear. Thanks for that, guys. Robertson out. Oh, that's clever. Those floating Gatling platforms have solar panels on them so they don't need to be constantly refueled or recharged. They're right about the coverage though. Everywhere except the asteroid falls into range of at least one of those weapons platforms. Oh, hang on a second, that gives me an idea. But what I'll need to do first is just double check the position of all those defense platforms all the way around the asteroid. And if the Mars Provisional Navy have been as lazy as I hope they have, I could be in with a chance. I suppose I could have asked Twain to take the Minerva in there with guns blazing, but I reckon that would have been too risky. Plus, I'm betting those Gatling platforms have some sort of distress beacon that gets triggered whenever they're attacked. The last thing we need is for a dedicated warship with drones to appear and ruin our day. Yep, that's what I thought. They've used Apophis as a natural barrier to stop people gaining access to the wrecks, but they've not placed any defence platforms on the far side of the asteroid itself. That was a bit of an oversight, and one which I intend to take full advantage of. What I will need to do, however, is find a spot on the far side of this asteroid that's out of range of the closest Gatling platforms, where I can safely leave this ship. That one to the right's getting a little too close. I need to move left a bit more. All the others look like they're being obscured by the asteroid, so it should be okay. In fact, I'll just place the ship over here. There, that should do nicely. That's perfect. Now it's time for the long, arduous process of using this drill to bore a hole all the way through the asteroid. I'll start drilling about here and make a beeline straight for the USAC buildings. Something tells me this may take a while. Hopefully I should be near the other side of the asteroid by now. Ah, there we go. I can see space. I can't help but notice that a green contact has appeared on my HUD that says unknown signal. I'll have to ask Twain about that. I don't think it's hostile, but you can never be too sure. Anyway, let's check out the wreck of the first vessel, which is the USAC Billings. And it doesn't look like there's much left of it. I'm seeing some gyros I could salvage. I'll check the command chair to get an overall look at this ship's systems and inventory. There's a good few systems that can be salvaged. Let's check the cargo. Ah, I thought as much. The inventory's empty. That reminds me. Twain, this is Robertson. There's an unknown signal that's appeared just outside the Apophis Memorial Site, about 3.5 kilometers away from me. Any idea what it could be?
Yes, just ignore that, Commander. The KSH Corporation have launched a marketing campaign where they've dropped small cargo pods at various points of interest around the solar system. Most of them are empty, but a few of them do have a small chance of containing a prize inside.
Anything good?
No. Personally, I think it's a frightful waste of time and resources that could have been more wisely spent elsewhere. But each to their own, I suppose. How are you getting on over there, Commander?
So. I've just finished searching one wreck and I'm about to check out another. I'll keep you posted as soon as I find anything worthwhile though. Robertson out. Ah, this ship still has some uranium. I can't access it though, as that large reactor is too badly damaged. I'll have to either grind it down or repair it before I can make use of it. It's a mess, but not nearly as badly damaged as the other one was, which makes it a good candidate for being repaired for use. At a stretch, of course. I'll check out that People's Republic one next. The Red Cliff. This was one of those People's Republic mine-laying ships. I fought against those during the battle for Tau Ceti when I helped the Thaliar. Let's see what this one has for me. Ah, now would you look at that? This thing is still carrying gun and rocket ammo. It looks like the personnel that were decommissioning it removed the ammo from the turrets but forgot the cargo containers. Well, that was careless. But fortunate for me, of course, as it saves me having to build them from scratch later on. Yep, that's exactly what they did. Fools. Right, let's take a look at the last one. Whoa, this is a big ship. This must be the heavy cruiser Twain was talking about. There doesn't appear to be too much damage on this side, and most of the turrets are intact. All the main thrusters look fine. Oh, it's a different story on this side though. Most of the side has been blown apart, along with a good amount of the internal structure. The bridge has also been hit, which probably killed some of the crew. I can see now why the Ross 4 Corporation took the other ship. Okay, I'm going to go in and see how bad it is from the inside. There's the Roanoke's main reactor. Let's see what state it's in. Right, that's not too bad, I suppose. I could always repair it using the parts from the other ship's reactor. I'll just access the ship systems up here to check if it's got the one vital piece of equipment I need in order to justify salvaging it. I'm not too worried about those other ships. I can just use those for spare parts. A lot of these systems look fine. If I can patch this ship up and get the power back online, I can definitely make use of this old Space Hulk. Ah, jackpot. Check this out. The jump drive is still fully functional. Wherever it is on the ship must have protected it from being damaged and caused it to be overlooked by the teams decommissioning it. Right, that's it. That's all I needed to know. Under miscellaneous cargo, 32 bags of cleaning gel and 94 MREs with an expiry date of December 2085. Well, at least I won't starve. Anyway, I better let Mr. Twain know the good news. This is Commander Robertson to the Minerva. Mr. Twain, I have searched through the wrecks and I believe I found enough spare parts to save at least one of these vessels and bring it online and jump capable, hopefully within the next week or so. Once it's ready, I'll be able to travel to the 82G Eridani system and begin my investigation as per our agreement.
That's wonderful news, Commander. If you no longer require us to remain here to provide assistance, then we must take our leave and return to Mars. I have urgent matters there that require my attention.
That's an affirmative. I have everything I need here, both to survive and repair one of these ships, so please feel free to leave at your discretion.
Thank you, Commander. Before I leave, I'll upload the schematics of the Hyperpulse communication system onto your computer, so that you can implement it into the jump drive and antenna network of your new ship. Please use it to send me a report as soon as you are underway, and again once you arrive in the 82G Eridani system.
Will do.
Good luck and safe journeys, Commander. I hope your investigation proves fruitful, and you get to the bottom of whatever's going on over there. And Commander, If you do receive any news regarding my daughter, then I beg you, please let me know, either way.
I'll do whatever I can. You have my word on it.
That's all I ask. Farewell, Commander. I hope we meet again soon. Mr. McGillicuddy, engage the jump drive.
Yes, sir. Jump drive engaging.
Copy that. Have a safe journey, guys. Robertson out. And just like that, I'm all alone again in deep space. I seem to be making a habit of this. There we go. The ice from the oxygen generator has replenished my jetpack. I do have an extra bottle of hydrogen and oxygen, but it's good to know I've got the spare ice just to be on the safe side. I've also just turned off the thrusters, both to save power and make the ship harder to detect, as I'm going to be here for a while. I plan on fixing up that heavy cruiser and using it for myself, but it is in one hell of a state. I've definitely got my work cut out for me. This new assignment I've accepted has me wondering though, what exactly is going on in 82G Eridani? Surely the Thalia can't be responsible. Maybe this is some new alien race, or maybe something the colonists have brought on themselves. I just hope I've not gotten myself involved in something I'm going to regret.